There might be quite some background noise because I'm in the airport. Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. Lovely. So I'm getting ready to leave the UK. If you guys have seen my stories or seen my updates, I've just been in England for a couple of days before I move, well, not move, but go back to the country that I moved to. And I'm so happy I was here to see England lose. I was so happy to see it. And I already posted on my page a few weeks ago, was it about 2 weeks ago? About England's karma, saying that they would never win. You know, there's a reason why they haven't been winning and they never will again. And, you know, some of you I'm sure saw that one stupid England flag who was like, we'll colonise Senegal once and we'll colonise them again, and Congo as well, Democratic Republic of Congo. And I said, you'll never win. You're not going to win. And I was with Inti, if you guys know Inti here. She and I had a conversation which is recorded, and I need to clip it, and it was so funny because she's Argentinian, and we were both making jokes saying, you know, I said England is going to get so close to the final, but then English people are going to have it snatched away from them again. And look what happened, it did. So I'm really loving this, and to be honest with you, I do think it's karma for the British Empire. That's what I think. That's what I believe, and I think they're always losing because of that reason, because of everything that they've done. So World Pro Wrestling, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you doing?
I am lovely, lovely. So there's two things. Let me introduce the topics for today. So, of course, the World Cup semi-final was yesterday, and England lost 2-1 to Argentina.
Did they?
The topics are, they lost.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, so this is news to you, but here we go. So the two topics I have today is, do you think England always losing is the British Empire karma? And also on the flip side of that, the unfortunate thing is that any time that England loses, domestic violence rates go up. When they lose or draw, Englishmen are treating their women and children absolutely terribly. So I want to know if people are actually protecting their women and children today, because this is very, very, very important. So World Pro Wrestling, you had a little bit of background noise, but let's see if you can actually be heard.
What can I say? It's sport as far as I'm concerned, so where I say about karma and stuff like that, I mean, I've wrestled all over the world doing wrestling, professional wrestling. I know it's a different sport, so when it comes to sport, I kind of leave politics out of it and all that. That's my opinion on that one.
Okay, thank you.
That's my own opinion on that, though.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to mute you, and I'm going to go to Keeman as well, because he says in the comment section, I only find humour because Brits kept forcing me as an American to care about the World Cup. Am I saying that right? Keeman? Keeman?
Keeman, like
Keeman. Oh, I love that. Keeman, thank you so much. So yes, tell us a little bit more about your experiences with English people trying to force you.
As an American in my early 40s, I'm 42. This is technically
same age. We're the same age. Twins.
Elder millennials. So this is actually the third time that the U.S. has hosted a World Cup in my lifetime, and I guess a lot of younger Brits like Gen Zs don't know that because they keep saying, oh, you guys don't have the infrastructure, you're not ready. It's like, yeah, dude, we don't have to build stadiums. We have, 30-something professional American football stadiums on top of hundreds of college ones. But the thing is, a lot of, it's the most popular sport in the world, but here it might be like the 8th most popular sport.
Yeah.
Well, at least I will say this amongst men. I don't want to sound sexist because our women kick ass at, football, soccer, whatever. They're always there. But for the boys, I guess what happens is you guys develop boys after, from youth to adolescence to adulthood in football.
Yes, it's a big deal.
soccer is a major youth sport up to a certain age for both kids. But once our little boys turn, I would say 8 is the age they let them start playing Americanized football, the numbers take a nosedive. Now, since girls don't have an equivalent, they can keep playing it up through college, and that's why our women are great. All of our top athletes for men leave football/soccer alone by age 7, and they go to
So
basketball, wrestling, baseball.
Have you watched any of the World Cup this year?
So I have, and mainly because I work a government job, not going in too deep to it, but for security reasons, I'm surveilling and monitoring the events of the games because, there's threats and things like that.
Yeah. So in terms of,
But I do find myself cheering for African clubs besides the U.S. because heritage.
Yes, same here. Well, of course you can hear a very strong English accent with me, but I am very against England as a country, colonization, all that shit. And the way that I have seen, and we have seen as black Brits, the disrespect towards the black football players. I don't know if you're very aware, but a few years ago, 3 black football players missed penalties and they were subjected to the most horrific racial abuse.
I watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. So even now, there is more conversation about why do black men play for England? What's the point? The disrespect is so large, and
throwing bananas at them. And
it's been.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it's been for decades as well. Nothing has changed. They keep saying, "I'll kick racism out of sport," but it's still there, and it's still very prevalent. And it's just so disrespectful and it's disgraceful. And for me personally, as somebody who is of African descent, my dad's Nigerian, my mum's from Grenada in the West Indies, I have been quite on a decolonial journey. So I'm understanding my family line and my family heritage and understanding more about the British Empire and the things that it has done, including invading 171 countries and taking us away from our family line and bloodline. And there's a video, I don't know if you've seen it, if anybody here has seen it, that there was an England fan 2 weeks ago asking about England's chances against Democratic Republic of Congo and Senegal. And his response was, "We colonized them once, we will colonize them again." This is what he said. Britain has not even colonized these countries, by the way. So they have a really bad attitude when it comes to actually understanding the truth of history. They think and feel like they saved the world, that they're white, superior, superheroes or something. They've got all Captain Britain, because it's not Captain America, Captain Britain capes on, and that they flew all the way around the world and saved everybody because everyone was suffering, but everyone was living quite fine. Everything got fucked up when they set foot on 7 continents. So I think that them doing what they've done to the whole entire world and actually not showing any remorse for it or learning from it, this is a part of some kind of karma. Because I don't know if you're aware of this, Kimon, that Western Europe is the fastest heating up continent on the planet. Are you aware of this?
Yeah, I used to live in Germany during my military service, and the way you guys deal with summer is a culture shock to most Americans.
Yes.
Like when we got to Germany and I went to McDonald's and I was like, "Hey, there's no ice in my drink." And it's like, "Was?" Like, "Yeah, ice. You don't put ice in your drinks?" And I'm like, "Oh dear God, I'm gonna hate it here."
Yeah, and it's really funny.
So if you have been watching kind of the TikTok and online discourse with especially black Americans, the cheering for the USA soccer, literally did not start until after the NBA finals was done. And once that big party in New York was over with, we were kind of like, "Oh yeah, there's nothing else on TV.
So you might as well watch it."
Diamond's little brother. Yeah, so we found a girl, she's a U.S. soccer player. Last name is Freeman. His father actually used to play American football. So he has a family tie that we were all familiar with his father, a great athlete, and then his older sister basically told everybody online, "Here's my little brother." So we just knew, oh, this is Antonio Freeman's son, and this is Diamond's little brother. We're gonna cheer for him. And then
so to go back, just to go back to the topic a bit, because I want to try and keep it to what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. So in terms of the weather, it is very much a thing where people maybe they might not be accepting it, the mostly Western Europeans. But I'm in England at the moment, and I'm just visiting, and I'm flying back to the country that I've moved to, and seeing how people are struggling in the heat. It's not even actually that hot at the moment. I expected it to be hotter because they were talking about the heat waves that were the last few days, and they've also talked about trying to acclimatise to the different climate when playing football, of course, in the US. But seeing English people with fans, oh yeah, I've seen.
I didn't use that D word yet, but they're struggling.
That's okay. I've seen it, and even here, right? I'm like, it's not actually that hot for me. I actually do struggle a little bit in the heat. It depends, right? But here at the moment, this is not hot. But I was at a concert last night. I actually came back to watch System of a Down and Queens of the Stone Age, and it was brilliant. But we were in Tottenham Court Road Stadium, and I see people with fans like this. Everybody, I've got an electric fan because I always carry this anyway, and everyone was like, oh, sweating, and I was like, it is not hot. It is not hot. So now I know, and now I see that when it is hot, you guys are really struggling.
You see them practicing when they first arrived in the U.S., when they first got off the plane and they were, getting their warm-ups in for the games.
No.
They were doing bad. They were cutting their practices short. And I don't know if you know this, but the majority of Black Americans, obviously we're spread out over the country, but just because of our roots, most of our families are down in the southern region of the country, which is the hottest part. So when we have people telling us it's hot and they say, oh, it's 85 Fahrenheit or, maybe like 35 Celsius, we're kind of looking at them like, and? It's like, drink some ice water, go outside.
Did anybody here watch because I'm not into football actually, but when the Qatar World Cup was on, obviously that was hot too. But was there this much drama about the heat? I don't know. Can anyone enlighten me?
No. Because that was what they did with that was, and I can say this again, I was deployed to Qatar for a while. They waited until later in the year to when it was cooler in Qatar, so it was still warm, but that's when the World Cup started in like November. So that's getting toward their rainy, cooler season.
I'm going to bring in Alicia because Alicia says she doesn't remember hydration breaks, and actually I only saw a little bit of the game yesterday because being at this concert, System of a Down, people had their phones and they were watching the game, so this hydration break thing, I was like, what? I've never seen that before.
I don't remember them in Qatar, and obviously Qatar's probably a lot warmer. But I feel like the difference with British heat is you can't breathe in it. Like, it's just not the same. When you go abroad, it's just not the same as the British heat. It's horrible.
I need to experience it because I say, like, I'm here right now, but I'm at the
moment it's not too bad, but the other day when we had the heat wave, it was horrible. But I'm perimenopausal as well, so I think I'm suffering more.
That's worse. That is a lot worse. If you're pregnant or perimenopausal, it really is a lot worse. So that sucks that you're suffering.
Horrible.
So these are the topics today, Alicia. So do you think England always losing is British Empire karma? And also, as you might be aware, which I probably think that you are, Alicia, is that of course when England loses or draws, the domestic violence rates go up. And so this is a very concerning time about women and children as well. So I want to, of course, highlight that to make sure that we're all looking out for each other. So what would you like to add, Alicia?
In regards to the DV rates, I feel like the people that I call them flag shaggers, they don't care because the perpetrator, if the perpetrator has white skin, they don't care, and that's just that's what it is. They just don't give a shit. They don't care that there's men going into their ex-partners' homes with BOMBs and blowing them up. They don't care that there's men with crossbows who are unaliving whole generations of women. They don't care. They care about the perpetrator. They do not care about the epidemic of violence against women and girls. And you know what really annoys me as well? Sorry, sometimes I go off on a tangent, but do you know when you're having a discussion or a debate and people start saying to you about things like, they'll say, oh, well, what about the girls in Somalia that are experiencing FGM? What about the women in Congo? They don't care about those women. I always say to them, what are you doing to help these women and girls? You're just weaponising weaponising their trauma.
Yeah, it's very annoying. I mean, especially because they say it to me because I'm black as well, and I'm like, I do care about that. However, I'm not over there, and I can be honest. I say it's not my main focus. My main focus right now is literally
But you're not
decolonising
weaponising
myself.
it, are you?
Exactly, I'm not weaponising it, and that's what I say. The same thing as well is, if you're talking about it, where is your activism towards it?
Yeah.
But no, we know it's always deflection. We know it's always bad over there, but we want to focus on what's actually bad around us right now. Like, we can't
And
keep
when are
ignoring.
they going to address it, and when are they going to do something about it? Because this is happening at the rate of 2 women a week in the UK alone losing their lives. Northern Ireland's one of the most dangerous places for women to live in the whole of Europe.
It's really terrible. And with all
they did that over there to you.
Yes, it is very bad. It was declared a national emergency. It's an epidemic. It is very,
the
very
deflection,
bad.
like you said.
Is that the immigrants doing it?
Yeah, it's all
Who's going to
deflection,
bring up
Kaiman. It's all
immigrants doing it?
deflection all the time. Like if you say how much DV goes up when England lose or when a football team loses, they just don't care. They'll change it to something else, something about Islam usually.
Yeah, so this is the statistics right here on that note. Domestic abuse reports increased by 38% when England lose a major tournament or match. So Dundon, you piping up about immigrants is so irrelevant and so predictable and so stupid, because we're talking about England and English people and English men specifically. Immigrants have no interest in England losing, and they're not doing anything towards women and children during this time. It is English men. Domestic abuse reports increased by 26% when England
Those reports are
win.
fake, though. We know
Shut
women
up.
lie about those
Shut up. You're dropped. Literally, shut up. This is about women and protecting women, and this is what we mean when we talk about white Western European men proving the point that they don't care about women and children. When we talk about them and we try to protect them, they always say, like he just said, oh, they lie, or it's immigrants or something else, because they want to continue this behaviour, but we will not let it happen. So at the same time, reports increased by 11% the day after an England match, regardless of the result. So of course yesterday, England lost 2-1. Semi-final results. And, you know, like I said, I talk about British Empire karma, and I've talked about this on my page, that I don't believe that England will ever win a competition ever again. You know, they obviously haven't won for 60 years, and they keep saying it's coming home, it's never coming home. It's never
Do you
coming
know
home.
what? I've got a real thing against Messi at the moment because I'm very anti-Zio. And I really, really wanted England to win. But the other day I was cheering on Norway. But I was really like, come on, England. Yesterday I was watching with my kids. But that's because I'm very, very anti-Argentina, because I've been reading about what they've done to people in the past. So
Yeah. See, even that, for me, I still would be more against England, because I have an English accent and I was in the country, you know, and I even then I feel like Argentinians is a deflection, because Argentina has not invaded 171 countries. Argentina itself didn't colonize. It was the Spanish that colonized Argentinian land. You know, the people there are from Spain. So it's still kind of a deflection still. It really is. And
you know, I'm glad as well though, Fox, that you know, when if it goes to penalties or if there's a missed goal and it's a player who's a person of colour, it always, you know how it goes. Like everyone's like, oh, come on, Saka, and then he misses a penalty, and it's like, you know, all of a sudden it's making monkey noises. There's bananas thrown on the pitch. Everyone, you know, it's just. I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, well, let's give it some. We know some things are going to come out after. The funny thing is, I'm in London at the moment. Let me just see my screen. It's so difficult sometimes on this app to keep things in the right place. I'm in London at the moment, and just kind of seeing people's behaviour and attitudes up close is very interesting. There was a lot of England shirts around last night. I was in central London, I was in Tottenham, and there was a lot of police. Honestly, I saw ridiculous amounts of police out last night. stopped, and I literally was like, "What's going on?" Honestly, I
because they
probably
kick
thought,
off, don't they? They
Yeah.
boot off. Even if
It
they
was-
won, they would have booted off.
yeah, it was ridiculous. In Piccadilly Circus, where I stayed last night, I saw probably about 50, 60 police officers, and I said, "What's going on here?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, there was a little bit of a traffic accident up there, but it's central London, so we just have to make sure that we're here to keep the peace." That's what. And honestly, there were so many. There were police vans. There were police everywhere. I couldn't even believe it. I could not even believe it. So
Yeah, it's
it
when
was,
there's a big match.
yeah, it was crazy.
So, right, I've got to jump down, Fox, but thanks for having me up.
All right, thank you, Alicia.
Grab,
Have
jump
a
in
good
the
day.
bath. I'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Marshall,
We don't worry about your accent because you speak English literally for the same reason I speak English. You know, as an African American, I was brought from. My family was taken from Cameroon, which is strangely enough colonized by the French, but here speaking English. So we usually find that it's a point to, you know, if we basically once we see a team with a lot of or more black players, that's who black Americans tend to cheer for. So you'll find the African teams or a place like Brazil, we're rooting for them to win. It's like, hey, if our home team doesn't do it, let's just hope somebody that looks like us does.
Yes. A lot of us are doing that as well. And what's been really nice to see, and what actually happens quite often, especially this year, has been a lot of cheering for the African teams. Like, I've absolutely loved it. And I've not seen any other teams cheering for, or countries cheering for England. Like, I've not seen that.
So,
Marshall
I
in the
live and
comments,
work in the capital
one
over
minute,
here.
Keeman. Marshall in the comment section says, "What's your desired outcome?" That England lost. That was I'm happy that England lost. I've had a video on my page talking about British Empire karma. I've talked about the disgraceful behaviour from the fans. I've talked about how England doesn't deserve to win any other major competition. So I'm very happy. What I'm not happy about is this: the consequence of what happens when England loses. English men have no control over their emotions, and they start beating their women and children, their wives, their girlfriends, their partners, and their kids. So that's the disappointing part. It's a double-edged sword with this. Why are you saying really, Marshall? Really? Yes, really. Why are you saying really twice? Why? Have you got nothing else to say, nothing else to add? Yeah, clearly I struck a nerve. And clearly these Neanderthals, stats, okay, pull up stats. And then you'll be like, what about per capita? With the stupid stuff that they say. Here are your stupid stats. Your disgraceful, disrespectful stats towards women. Domestic abuse reports increased by 38% when England lose a major tournament match. Domestic abuse reports increased 26% when England win or draw. Reports increased by 11% the day after England match, regardless of the result. So you see all those English people in the comment section, they don't care about women and children. They are already trivializing the statistics. Marshall, I know that you treat women and children terribly by your response, because there's no empathy from these men. They're like, who paid for that survey? Not like, oh my God, this is really bad that we treat women this way. Oh no. Strawberry Love says, you just hate on English people. To be fair, I don't like English people. I'm very clear on that. I don't hate them, because hate is a strong word, but I'm very clear on my platform that I have a dislike for English people and their attitudes and their behaviour and their racism and their discrimination and their ignorance and their arrogance. Why would none of those qualities are likeable? They're not likeable. I don't hold a grudge. I'm just very honest. I'm very honest about these things. So Strawberry Love again is doing that deflection, which we talk about. Is that in England with Englishmen after football? What's the stats on other countries? Again, deflection.
Still shocked.
That's what they do.
Because this happens in the U.S. Like, if you hear stories about, let's say, police violence, brutality, the first thing they'll say is, you know, if it's a minority who was harmed, well, what about black on black crime? Well, it's like, that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the police. Don't put the police on the same level as gang violence or something. Now, of course, you're just deflecting, or let's blame it on the immigrants or the migrants. It's like, no, people who look like you did this, and you want to find the first instance to say, oh, that's not us. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's all they do. Again, it's the deflection. They don't want to admit that they do terrible things, and they don't want to be held accountable for the terrible things that they do. Hence, this constant deflection. But the thing is, in our communities, we can recognise that there are problems. We're like, oh my God, that's actually really shit. We need to actually fix that. Whereas English people and white Western Europeans and their cousins in America, they don't want to fix any of their problems because they like doing these things. And it's a disgrace. Marshall in the comment section is a disgrace of a person. He's a disgrace. Clearly you can see he's a disgrace in all of the things that he's saying and repeating silly things. So he's going on mute because obviously he does not care about any of the topics at hand, and he doesn't want to address any of the problems. And his name is Marshall, which means he's probably American. Marshall's not really a British English name. So I think he's probably an American living in Britain amongst more of his family members. So I'm going to bring in Starman now as well. Starman Alpha, how are you today? Hello, it's been some time. So these are the two topics I've got today. It says, do you think England always losing is British karma? And also the DV rates, of course, which is what I was just discussing. Are you protecting women and children today?
Well, first of all, to England losing, I think that's just technical, based on the fact that their football style is just weak. They can keep playing like that for 200 years, they're going to win nothing. And then as for karma, I have to say, on a round planet, what goes around always comes back around. That's just how it is. On a round planet, what goes around will always come back around.
They're saying that hopefully, can you guys, I've just turned on background noise off of my setting. Can you hear me okay? But I know when Starman's just come up, I can hear like a fuzziness. Can you guys hear me okay? Starman, do you want to continue talking? Let's see if we can hear
you, but I can hear that there's like a lot of kind of background noise where you are.
Can you guys give us some feedback? Yeah, Starman, yeah. So you've mentioned about this coming around, what goes around comes around, and they don't seem to get it or understand that at all. I don't think they actually believe in karma. I think that because they're so removed from spirituality, so removed from just what it's like to actually be a human on this planet, that they don't believe about these things. That's why they keep chanting, it's coming home for 60 years. The same thing.
They actually ended up getting drunk on their own Kool-Aid and believing their own propaganda that, black people were so inferior. Some of us might think, oh, we're in the 21st century, none of them still think we're Let me just bust that bubble for you now. For anyone that thinks, oh, they don't refer to us as the fifth of a human anymore, can you then please tell me what exactly is the difference when someone 200 years ago describes you as the fifth of a human, and then 200 years later describes you as having just above our ETARDATION levels. Basically,
can you just say it? Just say it. Just say the word.
So what's the difference? Someone telling me 200 years ago that I was 3/5 of a human, and someone telling me today, that I have just slightly above retardation or retardation IQ.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so we know it's projection.
That shit.
Because it's projection. We know, I'm on this app a lot, and I am talking on this app a lot. And for those of us who actually do talk, we are very much seeing the difference between people like myself and you and those people. The Neanderthal who has projected all of the inabilities that they have upon us. I have people come here all the time saying, "You're no IQ. You don't know anything. And they talk like that. They talk slow, and I'm like, can you talk about the topic? Can you give us some new information or something? They're like, you ain't got nothing. You live in England. It's the same stuff over and over again, because again, their empire has told them these things, and it's become it's become their program. And when you try and challenge that, they get upset.
And many of them still, especially the men, many of them still run off that Kool-Aid today.
Yes, they really do.
And another thing is, for those of them who even try and think, you can see that as soon as they look at their history, they just freak out. Like, wow. And then most of them just recoil into defensiveness and paranoia.
Yeah.
But should we admit all this shit? These folks are gonna want revenge, and they think like this because that's what they'll do. That's their psychology. Black people have repeatedly shown that they just want to move on.
Yes, constantly. We just want to move on. We've tried to move on. Every time we do, they always just drag us back or remind us of something. They're the ones that haven't been able to move on. They're the ones that were stuck in the old program, and it's so annoying because they keep saying, "Well, you lot play the victim card." Well, no, it's you actually that are constantly playing the victim card, because now you're blaming the immigrants for all the centuries of oppression that you've had from your own government, that you have not been able to fight yourself, and you've been submissive to your royal family. And so anyone who comes now new, you're like, well, it's your fault. No, bitch, it's your fault. It's your fault for not being strong enough, because we constantly fought. We fought, and we did. And there were some things that were normal in our histories, and then when we woke up, we're like, hold on a minute. We then, guess what we did? We revolted. But I have a topic coming up soon, actually, why English people, or why the British never freed themselves from slavery, because they've never freed themselves. We freed ourselves. We need to talk about how they never freed themselves. They accepted, and they still today accept everything that's done to them, and they keep talking about we've ended slavery. You didn't, because you are the slaves now. So we need to talk about that.
As long as the British masses are still under the crown, they are all still slaves.
Yes, exactly.
Until they overthrow the crown, they can look. I don't care. They can come and argue with me till they are blue in the face. Yeah, but as long as they have the crown sovereign over them, I'm sorry, you are still slaves. And another point of jealousy they have against black people is that when they came across the Sahara, the people south of the Sahara, before 1,500 years ago, did not have all these kingdoms, empires, kings. These are people that lived as the original freeborns. We've been freeborn until they started their madness only 1,000 years ago with the Arabs then. And they have been subjected to being under their kings since the practice of kingship spread from Mesopotamia into Egypt, China. They've never been free since then, and they are jealous of it.
Exactly.
And you see, and it's that freeborn nature in us that though we've been through even worse slavery than them, and this is why you see even a lot of their poor masses engaged in racism. Though we've been through worse situation than them, they didn't crush that deep pride in us, which their kings have crushed out of them.
Absolutely. That's it. They've never.
This is why when the poor white racist, the poor white one sees you proud and black as you are, and he's thinking, we've colonized them. He can even, he's doing better than you, or can even speak better English than he just.
They don't understand how we've managed to overcome so much and in our struggle. But that's the thing. If you've had to struggle, you build resilience and strength.
If you struggle harder, your resilience is harder.
Exactly. And so they've never had to do that. That's why they're so weak. That's why they're so weak. Thank you, Starman. Still stick around. I'm going to move to Fanatics now as well to get his thoughts on the topic here. So, Fanatics, good to see you today. These are the two topics. It's, do you think England always losing is British Empire karma? And also, simultaneously, when England does lose, domestic violence rates go up. So I want to know what people are doing to protect women and children today. Are men in these parts actually going to be speaking more about it and making sure that we're all looking out for each other? So what do you have to add, Fanatics?
Sadly, I don't think they are. But first, I've got to say, Fox, you're looking as fabulous as ever in
Thank
a
you.
happy environment. Just to let you know what's
I'm
going
at
on.
Stansted Airport. I'm at Stansted Airport, so that's why I'm happy,
are you?
because I'm leaving the country again. Yeah, I've been in England the last couple of days.
Oh man, yeah, no,
yeah,
I thought,
so
I
now
thought
I'm
it
gone again.
sounded- I thought it sounded pretty happy, to be fair. I mean, here for the much of the country, what you're probably not seeing is it looks miserable everywhere. Everybody looks like they've just lost a world war or something. I don't know what's happened to them. But,
Do you know what? Every man I've seen here that I have a conversation with, I'm like, I want to see them cry. Because I'm like, because I'm literally going up to them saying, "You sad you won the World Cup?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're a bit sad." And I'm like, "Oh."
no, that's about the only thing that matters to them. The fact that it's weird though. I mean, you're going to a country probably that's a lot more developed. I mean, I was a bit worried as I was talking to you now, Fox, because I was going through parts of this country. They're still so underdeveloped. The phone signal's not always great, so I was worried that I might not be able to get through to you. But
Well, you've just
but
gone
no,
down to
I'm
one
glad you brought
bar.
these two topics up.
You've gone back to
The thing
one
is,
bar, by the way.
I think there is some karma attached to what's going on. I really do. I'm sorry, it looks like I've lost it.
Yeah.
But I think
You're
there
still-
really is some karma attached to what's going on. If you look at the athletes that we had on the pitch, right, of African descent that made up the majority of the team, they performed and they did their jobs because they knew if they're just 1% short of perfect, they're blamed for everything. However, as usual, it was the white people that let England down. The goalkeeper was shocking. Harry Kane was nowhere to be seen. But what do we see in the newspapers? It's just mollycoddling them, basically. Oh, well done, lads, you tried your best. No, they didn't actually. They didn't bring on Bukayo Saka. They didn't bring on Noni Madueke. Maybe they would have had a chance if they gave a few more African players more of a chance to actually play. That's the
Interesting.
first thing I've got to say about the game. And then secondly, they keep singing, "It's coming home, it's coming home." I'm just feeling for the children in this country, because surely to that, what they've probably got is some trauma attached to it now. Because anytime they hear Daddy singing "It's coming home, it's coming home," it's usually Dave with the white Peter vest, ready to have a go at his missus. That's
Yes.
what comes home.
Yeah.
And I think that did come home last night, but it's not what the little kids were expecting. They're
Exactly.
expecting a World Cup, but every time it's Daddy coming home upset at the missus.
Yeah.
And it's sad that it's us who've got to bring this situation up. And whenever you do bring these situations up about how domestic violence needs to be combated, they do anything and everything to deflect away from the actual subject and say that we're rage baiting.
Yeah.
When you're raising a topic which is important to the country to make sure women and kids are protected, we're rage baiting. The only reason we're bringing it up is because you're still sat there
don't.
moping about how Harry didn't win the cup.
Exactly. That's it. That's why we have to talk about these things. They always keep saying, "Oh, Fox, why do you talk about English people all the time in English?" Because you don't. Because you don't. So somebody else has to do it, and that's why we have all these topics. But like we see a lot of the time, English people, they love being in the rage bait lives, though. They love getting upset about things. They love getting really angry about these things. And it's like, what are you actually learning in these spaces? They're not learning anything. They just want to be angry. They want to find someone to blame for all the shit that's happened to them, and and all the things that they've failed to do themselves. So it's honestly ridiculous.
I think honestly, Fox, and the worst thing is they're waking up in the morning, they're seeing a BLK woman who's happy and smiling in the morning, and she's bringing up the fact that you might have hit your missus last night, and rather than actually acknowledge it, they're just going to come onto these rage bait lives and come onto you and say it's a rage bait live. It's not actually discussing a serious topic.
Yeah.
It's actually they'll blame you for it.
Did you see already in the comment section, they were like, give us the stats, give us the stats. Like, okay, I give them the stats, and then it's like, those stats are paid for by blah, blah, blah. Who funded the study, and then they're like, women lie. They don't care.
Oh my word.
Yeah, that's what's happened. That's what's happened already. So let's have a recap, okay? So domestic abuse reports increased by 38% when England lose a major tournament match. Domestic abuse reports increased by 26% when England win or draw. Reports increased by 11% the day after an England match, regardless of the results. And so really, really, everybody, please, if you know somebody who has, you know, a bit of an alcohol problem, one of your white neighbours or white friends that drinks a little bit more than he should, that talks about his wife incessantly in a negative light, talks about how frustrating it is to have children, keep an eye on these men.
Hangs an England flag outside his window.
Yeah, that too, that too. These are the men who are more susceptible to be harming women and children today. We don't live alone on this planet. We live in society, we live in community. It's up to everybody to keep their eyes and ears open for the next few days especially, because you know that this World Cup has had a lot of politics around it as well. You've seen that Harry Kane even went to play golf, for goodness sake, with DT. For goodness sake, ridiculous.
If you, I mean, you know, the fact that they're asking for stats, I just wonder where were they yesterday when their local villages were doing what they were doing, when their towns and cities were the way they were. You only had to go along the high street after they lost, and you could tell straight away. Every woman, bless them, they would look like they were scared because they knew what's going to happen. And unfortunately, I think as part of the civilizing process, what the elites of this country try to do is let them vent their tribalism through football, and it's resulted in what we're seeing. So this is how they vent their tribalism, but their tribalism is so bad that they start beating up their misses. And it's just not healthy. I wish they would get civilized one day and stop doing this.
Me too.
Sports to other people is sports. It's something you enjoy, something that makes you happy, and if you lose together, you go home and you console one another. They don't console one another, they start reaching for the blimmin' shoes and sticks and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's honestly ridiculous, and we have to remember as well that even if they win, it doesn't matter if the result, it doesn't matter. They use the sport as an excuse because this is something that is inherently within these people, right? So remember that last thing says, it says 11% it increases regardless of the result. And there are a lot of studies and a lot of women that are coming forward and saying, you know, the football is an excuse. They need a reason sometimes to do this to women because they've always wanted to do this to a woman. Yeah.
I mean, Fox, I mean, just basics on it. The other thing I've got to say is just the footballing decisions. It was as ever a white man from a foreign land was allowed to manage them for a start. A BLK or a brown person who's native to England is never allowed to manage them. But it results in the kind of things we saw. Harry Kane is given every opportunity to score a goal. He basically goal hangs, scores a couple of goals and is celebrated. Ivan Toney, who's getting paid a lot more than Harry Kane was at his age, is not given the opportunity. Twice now we've said this. Marcus Rashford, who set up food banks for people up in North, is not respected. And they wonder why we tell them they're going wrong. They have to have some like white person who can't play football properly. It's like what we used to get at school. There's always that one or two white people that can't play the sport properly. We put them in our team and hope they feel better about themselves.
Yes.
But the reality is, it's to the detriment of the team. That's the reality.
You're absolutely right. Some people here know or don't know, but actually I made it to sort of semi-professional levels in various different sports, and football was one of them actually. You know, at school when they have their like talent development programs and things like that, and I was in that, and then the next level would be England trials, and I don't like it. I had the same for netball as well, and I don't like competitive sport. Like, I like the fun aspects of it, but it was really interesting being in that process. And now when I think back about it, and I think about it now, the amount of men that didn't make it as footballers, they're obviously very disgruntled about it, like incredibly disgruntled about it. And when they start talking about things like DEI, this makes me piss myself. Do they think that black players are DEI hires in football? Like, do they really think that like, you know, you have to be so skillful to play at this level? Do they really think, oh, we had to make sure that our team was ethnically diverse, so we put in black players that weren't as good as the white players? That would never fucking happen. That would never happen.
The the cope though, honestly, the cope when you see them and their parents are telling them, "Oh, you're doing well, Billy Bob. Don't worry, you can play really well. You're nearly as good as that guy." Honestly, it's bred from a very early age. They keep telling them. And somebody put in the comments, I really like that. Participation trophies is the best way to kind of sum up a lot of these people, because even at school we see these people, they're given merits for something. We do all the hard work. It's just like, oh, you just did what you're expected to do. They spell their name right and they're given a merit, and you're like, what's going on here?
I remember this. I talked about this a few months ago. How my history, was it history teacher? No, I did do history. I can't remember which subject it was, but it was basically, they always said, if you put your name on the paper, you get a grade. And it's like, why are you encouraging people? And everybody should be able to spell their own name right. Like, what the hell is this? It's so weird. But Ubuntu, good to see you as always, says in the comment section, oh, Miss Fox, you could have helped them to bring it home. I was here to see them lose. Honestly, like I said at the very beginning of this live, that, you know, I believe in the British Empire karma. On my page, I've talked about it never coming home again. I don't believe it will ever come home. And I feel so happy that I was here to see them lose, because I only came to the country 2 days ago, and I actually didn't realise that the football, like the game, was going to be on the semi-final. I actually didn't realise they actually made it to the semi-final. But for those of you who were here, I'll bring it up again. Inti, if you know her, she's Argentinian. We were laughing and making jokes about this. I literally said, I bet you England will get so far and then they will take the win away from them, because, you know, they'll be like, because in the group stages they'll be like, oh well, then it's fine. But they got to the semi-final this time, and so the heartbreak is more deeper. And I think now that Argentina is going to go on to win it. This is what I feel in my heart, that will hurt English people even more, because they got beat by the winners, you know. So that's what I think, because if Argentina loses, they'll be like, oh well, it doesn't matter because we didn't, you know, Spain or France, we weren't in that group. But if Argentina goes on to win, it will really make them even more sad.
Oh, Fox, I've got to disagree with you there. I'm hoping Spain win it.
Okay.
I'm hoping Spain win it for Lamine Yamal's sake. I mean, I don't know if you saw yesterday, Fox, if you watched the match, if you bothered to watch it, right? There was a Jed Spence, fantastic young man, right? A Muslim footballer who represented England. The challenge he made, I'm telling you, if a white defender had made that challenge, he would have been immortalised today. He would have been put up as, oh my God, look at our Billy Bob or our Gary. Look at what he did. This was a world-winning tackle. But he's not going to be thought of as anything, unfortunately. Yeah. And we've come to see this, unfortunately.
I need to be very real with people. Oh, yes.
I've got to drop because I'm getting near an area, and white people might hear me and get angry at me. So,
all right then. See you later, fanatics. Thank you. I'm also going to. I did bring this up earlier for those of you who didn't hear the conversation. This deflection to Argentina. Oh, Argentina is so racist. Hello. England is racist. England has always been racist. England is full of racist people. It was built upon racism. They are the country that invaded 171 countries. They are the ones who've been throwing bananas on pitches. They are the ones who are hurling racial abuse at black players. Stop with this. Oh, well, Argentina is racist just because it's being shoved in your face right now. You are forgetting that England is racist. But on that note, I want Argentina to win. Like, I honestly do, because it will really put it into English people. Because you've treated black people worse. You enslaved black people. You took them away from their homelands. You didn't give them any human rights. You didn't treat them well, and you still don't treat them well. So stop with this deflection to Argentina just because your social media is telling you these
None of
things.
them, both England and Argentina, none of them deserve to win.
Yes, exactly.
Argentina
None of the four. They all colonized. France, Spain, England, Argentina. They all have done terrible things to humanity and to black people. So none of them deserve to win. But I would prefer Argentina to win just so English people feel worse. Yeah.
I don't feel it that bad. If anything, if Argentina does win, a lot of black people will feel bad.
Yeah, but like
I think a lot of black people
Desert
feel
Flower,
even worse about it than England.
Desert Flower, Spain colonized Argentina. Spain colonized Argentina. It's the same people, Desert Flower. Argentinians, Spaniards, same people. Same as when we talk about United States and England. Same people. Please, like, guys, you need to look at the map. Look at, like, countries and cultures and civilizations and where they went from. It's the same people. So if anything, for me, the country that I would want to win, yeah, as I say, I want Argentina to win for that. But if it was nothing to do with colonization or anything, I'd want France to win because they've got more black players. I would want France to win, so black people win. That's what I think. Right, we've got Mother Naya here. So actually, Mother Naya, I'm going to make you the last person on this panel because then I'm going to switch over to my other account to see if we can get more people in the conversation because the numbers are quite low at the moment. So, Mother Naya, how are you today? Good to see you again. So these are the two topics I've got here today. Do you think England always losing is British karma, British Empire karma? And the DV rates are up as well, so we need to of course talk about that. What are you doing to protect women and children today?
I would say, sorry, I live in the country, so if you hear some background noise, I apologize. I would say that, yeah, I do. I think that that's probably what it is. I really wanted to say something about the DV rates. I think women have, like, there's a historical context to women protecting women and children. I think maybe it doesn't apply to the same, like, it historically it's shown up differently. I think obviously white women have a history with selective empathy and who they think is deserving of protection because of the racial category that they are under. However, I do think that, like, when this question pops up, I'm like, when have men as a whole historically protected all women and children? That just has never happened. And I think a lot of it is obviously rooted in, like, patriarchy, misogyny, and then also racism, because white people have, like, historically, like, been very selective about their humanity and who deserves empathy, who deserves protection, and who doesn't. So I don't know, when that question comes up, I strongly feel that, and I'm not going to include white women in this. I'm going to say black women historically have protected black women. That's always been a thing. Even the ones who are super patriarchal and traditional, I think that that's a given. I'm not saying that they've always shown up in the way that people want to in protection, but I think as a majority, I think that black women have had an obligation to protect women and children and pretty much everybody else because they're at the bottom of every hierarchy. And that is just kind of how we're socialized to be. Like, we have always historically been socialized to, like, show up for everybody. I mean, and I hate to make the relation to slavery, but, like, seriously, like, I don't, and I hate to say it like this, but I don't know when we're gonna get it that we don't have to protect everybody. Because I think it's just kind of ingrained in who we are. Like, it's just kind of there. Because we have never been at the top of any hierarchy, we're always under everybody else. So the way that we're so, like, looking at humanity from the ground up. Men, I don't know if that's a separate conversation. As a majority, I cannot say that men have just always protected women and children. They're very patriarchal, misogynistic, and we have a unique experience with misogynoir because we because of the intersectionality of race and misogyny. So I'm not really sure. I think that just kind of sums up my spill. I think that we'll always protect women and children as a majority, as a whole. But I cannot say the same thing for other demographics of people. No.
And I've moved to a quieter spot as well, so hopefully you can hear me. It was getting loud over there. I was sitting in the Burger King area, but all the kids were really hungry for their burgers, and so they were getting overly excited about eating. But yeah, it's been a really good conversation so far, guys. Checkmate says Spain to win. And we were just talking, of course, about history and karma and colonization. Some people saying that they not want Argentina to win because of the racism, and I'm reminding people about how much racism has been in the England team historically. Fans have been racist. The country history has been racist for hundreds of years. 171 countries invaded. So to get distracted and think that Argentina is just the racist country, 4 of the teams now, well, now 2 teams into the finals, have showed incredible racism in their history. They are colonizers. They're colonizers. So, you know, and I'm just rooting now for the team that has the most black players in. This is a vegan raspberry croissant from Cafe Nero. This is really nice. So, this is the topic today, guys. Again, do you think England always losing is karma for the British Empire? Also, when England loses, we're very aware that domestic violence rates go up as well. Yeah, domestic violence rates go up. So let me talk to you about the statistics again. These are the reports, guys. Domestic abuse reports increased by 38% when England lose a major tournament or match. Domestic abuse reports increased by 26% when England win or draw. Reports increase by 11% the day after an England match, regardless of the result. So this is also, of course, an awareness live, guys. People, if you are aware of your friends or neighbours who have an affinity for alcohol and they talk negatively about their wives or talk negative, Inti, you must come up. I need to talk to you, Inti. I need to talk to you about the result. Yeah, so we're talking about, please look out for your friends and neighbours today, and any extended family you might have. If you've got neighbours that have an England flag in the window, they're more likely to be part of that group of men who are abusing their wives, their partners, their girlfriends and children. Okay, so please be aware of this. Please be aware that you must be talking to them, to your neighbours. You must be calling the police. This is very important. Very, 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 very important. It's not a statement. I literally just had the facts up on the screen. Were you not aware that last year it was declared a national emergency for crimes against women and children? Domestic violence rates are too high in England and people are not willing to accept it. They tried to say that I'm making a crazy statement. Yes, someone with an England flag is more likely to beat women. Yeah, we're very aware that the men who are on these protests for protect our women and children have domestic violence charges against themselves already. We're aware of the essay that they're also doing to children. It's not a statement, it's a fact, Jamie, it's a fact. I don't deal with assumptions here, I deal with facts. I'll show the statistics again. Domestic abuse reports increased by 38% when England lose a major tournament match. Domestic abuse reports increased by 26% when England win or draw. Reports increased by 11% the day after an England match, regardless of the result. And also, I've talked a lot about the British Empire. This is what I talk about a lot on my platform. And I really want Inti to come up and have a conversation, because Inti, if you remember, we talked, was it last week, about laughing about, I said, England will get so far and the win will be ripped away from them. And you were talking about wearing your Argentinian shirt. Inti. We were right. We were right. We were right, Inti. We were right. We had this exact conversation.
This is one thing. I know that a lot of I'm getting a lot of stick, you know, because they cheated, they did this, they did that, they're Zionists, they're this, they're that. You know, look, whatever my country might be, and I do understand that yes, we do have a lot of Zionists. And there's a lot of problems with this at the moment over there as well. Don't think that my people are not suffering due to what is going on in my country. However, when it comes to the football, oh yeah, that was another thing I got last night. Oh, they put up a flag of the Falklands. Oh, I got that one last night. But you see, the thing is, what they don't understand is that for us, last night's game wasn't just about the football. It was about the Falklands. Because if they understood, even in our football songs, if they understood Spanish and they understood what the songs are talking about, we always mention the young boys that went to the Falklands, and we always honor them. In every football song, they are mentioned. So you see, for us, that's why that flag was brought up, because it's not just about the football. So when we went in last night, everything that they saw wasn't just about football. It was about football and the rest.
What do you think about, I mean, we've got people in, like Quinny in the comment section, that says stop making football political, but football makes it self-political. Like, we're not doing that. We don't do it. You guys, the English people seem to forget, right, that even in World War II, they put a Nazi flag in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to welcome the Nazis in, because they didn't want to have any political conflict. This is stuff that's been happening for decades. Decades.
When it's convenient for them.
Yeah, exactly.
But then when the people want to use football for them, for the people's voice, oh no, then the people can't use it, then it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Listen, when you have two teams that have been through what England and Argentina have been through, you cannot take politics out of that match. How are you going to take it out of that match? It's ridiculous to even suggest such a thing. There's always going to be that animosity when it comes to England and Argentina. And England know it themselves. They go in with that same freaking imperialistic mentality. Don't come and tell me that they don't. Because I've heard many European teams say, Latin American teams aren't as good as Europeans because the Europeans have more money and all of this and that. Well, you might have more money, but you don't have the flair that South American players have. So you can't buy that. And no matter how much money your club has, you'll never have that. They'll never have it. And I don't give two flying farts who likes it or don't like what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's really, please don't interrupt. Don't interrupt, please. Don't talk over people. Please don't interrupt. I just said, shut up. Goodbye, you're dropped. So I think it's really interesting when they always say, like, keep politics out of XYZ. But it's because people aren't able to actually see things for what they are. They want to just, what's that lyric from Hey Ya? You just want to see me dance. You know that? It's like you just want to see the entertainment value. You actually don't want to see what's behind it, and that is very frustrating. Like, you have to actually see the politics, because politics is in anything and everything, no matter what you think. And for those of us who are politically minded, there are times when you can actually enjoy things for the entertainment value as well. Like, you're supposed to be able to do both, because I'm not into football, but I used to be massively into football. I used to love it. But with all these super injunctions that were happening in the early 2000s and this dive culture coming in, I hated it. So I actually stopped watching it. And so I can't watch football for these reasons. Men are too dramatic. It's so dramatic. And I remember...
Yeah, I know, but
about
I do like...
Sepp Blatter.
I do like
do you remember
to
when...
watch England getting their butt kicked.
Well, it was funny because I was at System of a Down last night, right? I was at a concert and Queens of the Stone Age was supporting. So around me, people had their phones and they were watching the game, and it was so funny to see people watching the game but trying to watch a concert at the same time. But it was quite nice, actually, because people, even though they were sad, they were still able to enjoy the entertainment. And actually, I have somebody who works in the theatre industry in London, and she said that recently there has been a big increase in purchasing of entertainment events, because people do want an escape, because they're very aware that the world is heavily political at the moment. But you can't ignore it. Like, the world still goes on. It still goes on. And talking about this FIFA corruption, Sepp Blatter was an incredibly corrupt FIFA president. This one now, Lord, I think everybody wants Sepp Blatter back.
I also said yes. I understand that there is a lot of corruption going on in my country. There always has been. We have never denied that. It's one of the most corrupt. But mostly South America, and this is what people here don't understand. The politics there are different. Everybody in politics there is corrupt. I mean, it's not much different here, really, to be honest with you. They just hide it a lot better, But, and for those in the comments that are going, Argentine cheaters or whatever, I don't care. Suck it up. Here's a straw. Suck it up. You lost. Yeah, what?
Exactly.
Same way like you lot tell us to suck up about the Falklands. Suck it up. Football isn't coming home because it's already home where it belongs, in Argentina. There you go. Have another straw.
So you're gonna wear your shirt for a little bit longer now, aren't you, Inti?
Yeah. Although I didn't wear it last night, I had to walk my daughter to the bus stop with the baby, and I thought, no, just in case, because with the baby and stuff, just in case they do start. So I had to kind of, take it off. I thought, no,
see, this is
risk it.
Yeah, and I want to make people very aware of the cognitive dissonance they may be having. I did just say this on a previous live I was just on. I've just switched accounts. People thinking that England, you should be saying England Zios. You should be saying England is racist. If you're deflecting
Spain,
now to
just 1 minute, you carry on
just 1 minute,
supporting the colonisers.
1 minute, Inti, let me finish my point and then I'll bring you in. People, don't forget that England is full of Zionism. They actually are the people that created Zionism. England is a racist country built upon racism. We're very aware that in the British Empire it was built upon racial hierarchy. We're very aware about the racism towards black footballers. So stop deflecting now and saying, Argentinians are racist. England is racist, but you were still cheering and supporting them. The black football players were absolutely terrified to play. And I've just seen a little bit of footage now about how disappointed Jude Bellingham is. I've seen him with his cap down saying, I know that English people are very used to losing and they've heard this story for many years, but he needs to understand that football is never coming home to England until they actually address the crimes against humanity, which they've actually done. Inti, we'll get your last point and then we're going to move to MAGA news after, please. Inti, are you there? Yeah.
Keep saying that Spain's coming for us. You keep supporting colonizing countries, yeah? Just remember what Spain did as well, because they're not innocent in this either. They colonized a lot of countries and did a lot of atrocities. So you lot carry on supporting them, yeah? And I'll stick with my Latinos. It's okay, no worries. We're still going to be champions this year. Watch. Spain can't come for us either. suck that
I made a
up.
mistake. I made a mistake earlier. I need to correct myself because I said that Spain was Argentinian. I meant to say Portuguese. Portuguese, of course, is Argentina. Argentina was colonized by the Portuguese, so I
by
need to correct
Spain.
myself.
We were colonized by Spain. Brazil
I was right.
colonized. Brazil was colonized by Portugal. We were
So I was
colonized
right.
by Spain. They're all colonizing countries at the end of the day. And, you know, I had somebody say to me the other day about, yes, we did have black slaves in Argentina. They were brought by the Spaniards. We only had 200,000, unlike Brazil, who had 5 million. You know, we only had a small fraction, and those that did come in were given for their children. They were straight away given that their children would be born free. We didn't carry on with all of that for years and years and years, you know. So, and for those who think that Argentina is racist, I implore you, go there and see for yourself. Because a lot of people like to talk about things when they haven't even set foot in a country and don't even know what that country's all about. So if that's what you think, put your money where your mouth is. Go and have a look. Go and visit and see what your experience will be like. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's a good point because, I mean, I'm a big traveller. A lot of people here know that I've been to over 50 countries, and I go to places where people say, oh, it's so racist there, and I go there and I have a completely different experience. I'm not put off by going to Argentina. I will go to anywhere where my soul calls me. So I'm not saying that I want to go to Argentina. I'm not saying that I won't go to Argentina. I will go. If my energy calls me to go there, I will go there and I will experience it myself. I'm not put off because, like I said, England is racist, for God's sake, but people still go there. We know that black people get killed. We know that brown people get killed. We know that they're literally, black and brown people literally get killed, and we've got mosques that are having terrorist attacks planned against them, but people still go to England. So everybody needs to have their own experience about these things.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, I'm not going to say anymore. Of course, we have racist people. We've got our own set of idiots. Just like every other country, we have stupid people too. I'm not saying we don't. Every country has it. But go there and experience it. If you really think so, go and experience it. And you may come back with a totally different view. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, my sister, I have to go to work. Love you to bits. Looking beautiful as always.
Thank you.
And you're always holding such interesting lives.
Thank you so much, my dear sister. Thank you. Yes, I'm at Stansted Airport. Everybody can see.
Oh.
I'm making my way back because I was in England. So that's why it was so funny to me. So I saw them lose.
Get out whilst you can, girl. Get out whilst you can.
So I'm going back to my home country now. But
I don't blame you.
It was so funny to be here and actually see England lose. Honestly, it gave me so much joy, Inti. And you were the first person I thought of. I was like, I must speak to Inti. I have to talk to her.
I'm glad we made you happy at least.
Yes. Right, thank you so much. You have a lovely
Take
day.
care, my love. Bye,
bye, darling. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Right, we've got Maga News now, please. Maga News, how are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, host.
Lovely, Jubby. So these are the topics we're talking about. Do you think England losing, or always losing, is the karma for the British Empire? And also the domestic violence rates go up. If you do or don't know, after England loses or draws, domestic violence increases, and that is a big problem. So I want to make sure that we're talking about this so we can know who our neighbours are, who our friends are, and if there's any problems you see in your community, you must call it out. You must contact the police. So what do you have to add on that front, please, Maga News?
Right, let me go with the first one. Do you think England always losing is their British Empire karma? Oh yeah, definitely. And the karma was served very sweet. They went so far, but they couldn't make it.
Yes.
And I think that was the best karma, you see, because it gave them hope. I bet the English supporters was thinking, yes, it's finally coming home.
Yeah.
after 1966 is gonna come home.
And they always do. They always get so
Yeah, yeah.
close, and then it gets dashed away.
And then it got dashed away from them. Oh man, it was so nice, man, to watch it.
Yep.
It was a beautiful day yesterday.
Yeah.
Beautiful evening. I slept like a baby last night, you know. Knowing that there are some people that are crying and sad.
Yeah.
But it's what it is. I mean, look, this is going to keep happening because England has done a lot of evil in this world.
Yep.
And you can't think that, you know, you can do so much evil and think that good things are going to come your way. You know.
That's the way of the world. That's literally the science of the universe. You can't do bad and not expect bad things to happen or not good things to happen. And
the
sometimes
law of the
it is,
universe, yeah.
it's the law of the universe. So, you know, people need to understand why these things are happening. It's been 60 years, but you still keep singing It's Coming Home. No one else is doing that, by the way, in the world. People can win it once or twice or whatever, and they're not having the same thing like, we'll do it again. It's like, yeah, we really want to win, but you keep singing It's Coming Home. It's not coming home. It is not coming home.
The only way England is going to win the World Cup is if they give reparations. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only way. You have to take accountability for the evil that you have caused on this planet, especially in Africa, where I'm from. You know. And it's so sad that a lot of English people don't understand the intensity of the evil that the British Empire has done.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
I will encourage any YT person to visit the slave dungeon in Ghana and let the Ghanaians tell you what your forefathers have done. I mean, some of the stuff I don't even want to describe. You know, it wasn't just adults that they were unalivened. It was children, newborn babies. I mean, what have a newborn baby done to anyone? An innocent soul. And you think that good things will come to you? I mean, you got the riches. You know, you've managed to develop your country, but the most depressed nation in the whole world are the YT nations, right?
Yep.
For a reason.
Very depressed, incredibly
nation.
depressed. And the weather changes, I talk about this a lot. Europe, Western Europe is the fastest growing, how do you say it, heating up the fastest, sorry. It's the continent that is heating up the fastest. This is all specific karma towards white Western Europeans. You have to address why this is happening. If you keep ignoring these things, everything always gets worse. That is life. If you ignore it, it gets worse. If you address it, things get what? Better.
And guess who benefits? And guess who benefits from the heat? Black people.
We love that shit. I was literally saying.
Oh my gosh.
I was literally saying yesterday. So I came back for a concert, right? I came back to watch System of a Down and Queens of the Stone Age last night, and it was fucking brilliant. But it was outdoors. It was actually at Tottenham Court Road. It was at Tottenham Court Stadium, and I was looking around. It was not even hot. I see people. Whoever's shut up. Jack, I know you say the same thing every. Jack, I know you can't hear me because I go.
Talk shit, patriotic.
Shut up, Jack. This is Stansted Airport. You're telling me to do something I'm already doing. I don't live in the UK. Jack, you say the same thing every single time because, Jack, you have no new thoughts and no new ideas. You came in last time and said, get out of the country. I was already in another country. You're telling me to get out? I'm in the airport. Jack, Neanderthal Jack, you are on your last days because you have nothing good to say and your intelligence level is 0. So yes, we're very aware now about this weather and karma situation. Jack is suffering because his skin is bubbling under the heat.
Right. I was going to say that. Doesn't it feel so great, host, to walk out without any sun cream? That's not it feels great, doesn't it? I mean,
It's true. I've got that.
It's fun. No sun cream whatsoever. It's just amazing.
I wear an SPF makeup because I want to make sure I don't get dark spots because I have few dark spots. But that's it, honestly. Otherwise, I don't put it on. Like the melanin just drinks it up. Drink it up. We say the sun like glug, glug, glug. We drink it up.
You know another thing that we benefit from? You never have to experience sunburn. Imagine that.
Yeah. So, do you know what? Actually, I have seen like one, or maybe it's a rumor. I think they're trying to lie and say that we experience.
They're lying.
With that, we see like, we get sunburn. I've never seen it.
I've never had a sunburn in my life.
Yeah.
Come on, England.
Never have I. Well, I'm going to move to King Kane now. Thank you so much, Maga. It was good to speak to you today. Take care. Bye. All right, King Kane, how are you, my dear? King Kane, are you there? King Kane, are you there? If you're there, can't hear. He's not there. We're going to move to Leanne in the meantime. Leanne, my darling, how are you?
Girl, Kane's here.
Oh, he's back.
Sorry. No, I was trying to put the mic on. I'm touching the button and it wasn't working. I apologise. Grand rising to you, Queen. How are you?
You too. I'm very well, King. King, it's so good to see you again. I loved our conversation last time. So I know you're gonna eat them up again with these comments that you're gonna have right now. So what would you like to add?
Right. So I'll just address the from as
my days,
because
King.
I like to.
I didn't realise you were here. Sorry.
Right. So. Do you think England's always losing? British Empire karma? Yeah, I do think it's karma. I do believe in the laws of attraction. I do believe that what goes around comes all the way back around.
Yes.
And I do think that until England address the issues that they have carried out worldwide, that nothing good will happen for them. Do you understand? Because people see this country as something that is brilliant, not understanding the evil and the darkness that's gone into it, into turning it into something that is not. Right?
Right.
In terms of actual football, when I look at football, the reason I will never, ever, ever support England, and the reason that I tell my children, and I tell them straight, I mean, you might grow in this country, but you will never, if you were a footballer, I will never allow you to go and play for England, right? The reason that I look at it that way is because I have systemically seen England, what England has done to black players, right? Now they put a few black players on the field now, but let's carry this back 2 World Cups ago, right? When Darren Bent was he had the most goals that season in the whole Premier League, right? And instead of taking him to the World Cup, instead of taking Jermaine Defoe to the World Cup, what they did was that they took Wayne Rooney with a broken foot to the World Cup. And
wow, I didn't even know that.
Who has scored the most goals in the Premier League, and you leave him at home because he was black. So I have seen what this country has done to black players and destroy everything that they had in terms of self-belief, right? And for those reasons, I would never ever support this country when it comes to anything.
I think. What do you think about? And I'm going to ask the same question to Leanne as well after. Is that what do you think about black people who are still ignoring all that stuff and continuing to support England? Again, what do you think about them?
You see how flamingos like to bury their heads in the sand, right? I think that a lot of people just live their lives. They want an easy life. Is designed to keep you at a certain level, and unless you take the time. There's a lack of knowledge because there has been the link has been severed between generations of old and these generations coming through now, right? The links have totally been severed. Am I still being heard? Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. I think the links have been severed, and because those links have been severed, what our past isn't trickling down through to the future, if you understand where I'm coming from, right? So then there's a disconnect. There is a disconnect now between what has happened to us and why we are where we are. All right. So yeah, I think those are the striker that year. Okay, I can't remember exactly how many goals he scored, but he had the top place for the person who scored the most goals in the Premier League. I'll say it a million different ways so you guys can understand.
Menu.
Yeah, Mainu, I think is too African for them. Let me just be real. Let me just be real. Do you understand? Right? Mainu is a hell of a player. And if you realize with all of the other countries who've got young stars coming up, like Yamal and all of the countries who've got like young stars, they all push them. All right. They all, and this is why they become so great. Now, Mainu is I love football, right? So I watch football. Mainu is a brilliant. He is a superstar in his own right. But in order for him to come into his own essence, he's going to need that backing, which this country will never, ever give to him.
And then in terms of, let's say, overall World Cup, what is your stance on how this World Cup has gone for you? What's your opinion on it?
Corruption is extremely corrupt. At one point, I stopped watching the World Cup because the level of corruption that I was seeing and the rubbish that I was seeing upset me. And it really, really did upset me. And I'll be honest with you, when all of the African teams left the World Cup, that my interest left the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna be straight with you, okay? Because if I'm to be real, right, the teams that take all of these that take all of these European teams to where they are predominantly the black players. All right. And if those players decided that they were going to stop their rubbish and go and play for the team of their home, where their parents are from and where they are from, let me be honest, man, what European team is going to do anything? Africa will take the World Cup over. Africa will take the world over. Do you understand? And I've always said this and I've always known this. But again, then it comes down to finance and whatever the case may be, because if I've got one team, I mean, as someone that doesn't have a lot of substance in terms of history, if I've got one team saying to me, hey, I'll pay you £10,000 to come and play for us. And then I've got another team saying, hey, I'm going to give you £500,000 to come and play for us. Most people are going to lean towards a 500. You understand? Understandably so. But then if you've got roots and you've got that substance about you, the money then isn't coming into question. You will understand that if enough of you transfer over, we can create that for ourselves and we can start getting paid those types of money. But enough of us need to make that transition. You know?
No, I agree, because I think there was a lot of conversation around whilst the England team, the team actually got put out to socials. A lot of people are questioning the actual lineup as to, you know, the lineup of the England team is very diverse, in fact, too diverse. And then there was the whole debacle of, should we allow people that are not 100% British English be playing and representing England? So I just find it very interesting. Like, I don't know if you watched the previous match where Bellingham scored, not the one that was last night, but the one before. Bellingham was man of the match and he scored the 2 goals for England.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if you saw, did you see the interview from, I don't know how to say the stupid journalist name, Machel?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, did you see like the discourse that's been happening around how Bellingham was interviewed by that journalist? Because so he interviewed England's manager, and obviously the manager criticised that, you know, they have the mindset and the motivation, but their gameplay and their tactics wasn't the best. Then he interviewed obviously next Bellingham, and no praise to Bellingham whatsoever in the entire interview. Even made Bellingham look around the stadium and say, look, England have been disappointed for 60 plus years. Are we actually going to take it home? And it's like, this man's just carried the team in this whole entire game, scored the 2 goals to make this team go through. And you have nothing positive to say to him. Oh, fuck you back.
Yeah, I've been listening. Really good conversation. Really good conversation. Is that the same interview from like yesterday or today, where Jude's got the cap on? Is it that same interview?
No,
it's
so
different.
that the one from yesterday, that's the Argentina match. But that England game was only a couple of days ago.
That was the one before. She's speaking about the one before the semi-final. Honestly, I haven't been keeping it in my head. Whoever they beat to the semi-finals, that's the match she's talking about. So yeah, but I did see that interview, and I did see, like you just correctly said, Miss Leanne, the discourse in terms of the praises that should have been given to Jude, right? Harry Kane scored the match before that, and I saw on the news he became Prince Harry. So sorry, Harry, mate, but your title has been given away to another Harry. All right.
It's true. Because even I'll be honest, because I saw the interview. I didn't really. I'm going to be honest. I don't really watch England. I don't support them. But I obviously watch them play versus Ghana.
I know, because you're a Ghana girl. That's it. We were rooting.
Yeah. So how England played against Ghana already, I was like, yeah, no, I'll watch it maybe just to make sure my black players are good. But apart from that, no. But it was just the way that they interviewed Bellingham, and like you're even getting Thierry or Reece speak out about it. And I despise John Terry because John Terry's a known racist. But even John Terry has spoken out against it, saying how you British media are treating this boy right now is absolutely disgusting. Obviously, Piers Morgan, because he's on the side of the journalist, but, we've got to ask those questions. I don't think how we interviewed him was rash and whatnot.
I don't trust any of them, I don't trust a single one. Did you see, what was it was that thing that happened with Mbappe, with that politician lady who said something terrible about her. Yeah,
I remember.
Yes.
He called them monkey or something.
Yeah. So Gary Lineker called that out, and on the panel was Alan Shearer and Joe, what's his name? I can't remember. And then of course, what's his name? Micah Richards was the only one who was saying, no, she's disgraceful, she's disrespectful, she's racist, la la la. But the white people, the white guys,
Alan never speaks up when racism happens. He never
Alan Shearer never says a single thing. And in the comments section, you'll see like, Alan Shearer was really angry. It's like, no, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
If he was angry, he would have said something, because you see Michael Richards, he's angry, he says something. And Gary Lineker even called it out after. He says, us as white people, white men, we have to call out. Because Gary Lineker can see that Alan Shearer's not saying anything, and Joe, what's his name, was not going to say anything. Because Gary Lineker does call, Joe Hart, thank you. He does call it out. Gary Lineker is one who does call it out. So stop saying that because a white man's not saying anything. You can read it all on his face. Oh yeah, he's anti-racist. He ain't said a damn word.
Yeah.
It's so silly. Eliza, I'm going to bring you in as well, because I am going to board my flight obviously very soon. And whoever wants to come up on the chat section, thank you so much. I might bring this same subject up tomorrow, we'll see, because it's going to take me a long flight to actually get home. So Eliza, what would you like to add? So this is the topic today, obviously. Do you think England always losing is British Empire karma? And also we know domestic violence rates go up anytime England win, lose or draw. And of course last night was a heavy defeat, another heavy defeat. 60 years of her, or wherever it is now. Remember back then it was 30 years of her. Now it's 60 years of her, or wherever it is. So yeah, they're hurting, and the men get more upset. And unfortunately, the people who always are at the end of this are women and children. And let's get the statistics up again, because Englishmen hate statistics that don't make them look good, and they start talking about kappa. I've already had people screaming about, what about the immigrants, already on a subject about England and English. So these are the unfortunate statistics, guys. Domestic abuse reports increased by 38% when England lose a major tournament match. Domestic abuse reports increased by 26% when England win or draw. Reports increased by 11% the day after England match, regardless of the result. So guys, this is what I'm trying to say is, please be aware of your community. Please be aware of what goes on around you. This is not a time to say, this is not my problem. check on your neighbours, check on your friends, check on your community. Wherever you see that England flag up in the window is already an alarm, as we know. And if you know that the people inside that house have an affinity towards alcohol, if you see the children sometimes looking miserable, they don't look like happy children, check on them. And even then, if you feel afraid to check, call the police. Call the police. If you feel something is not right, call the police. This is very important. Thank you so much, Leanne. We Protect Samaritans. Shout 111/101. Thank you very, very much for that, Leanne. So, Eliza, what else would you like to add to the topic today?
I do definitely believe. Oh, am I echoing?
Oh, I'll put myself on mute. Yeah.
Okay. I do believe that the Englishmen are very, very violent over there. Like, they treat their players on the football team horrendously, even though the black players are carrying the entire team, as well as they treat their families absolutely horrifically after matches. Even when they win, they still do that. Like, they're still abusive. As well as with the loss of England, I am very happy that they lost, but I'm kind of pissed off that it was Argentina they had to go against, because I also don't like Argentina, but at least they won against them, because my mother is Kenyan, and you know how the British colonized them. It was very satisfying to watch them pissed off and angry on social media, but it definitely was the karma and the humbling that they needed. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say today.
I think we've definitely seen a sort of a unanimous opinion on it, actually, about England. It only seems to be like, I hate using this phrase, but pure English fans who are like, oh, you know what, disappointing, but we're used to it by now. But this, like I say, this deflection between now picking between the colonisers, because it's been the colonisers' semi-final, England, Argentina, kind of, France and Spain. And so why do you feel like you have to pick any side? Like, why? You actually don't have to pick a side, by the way, guys. Like, you really you don't have to. I don't watch football. I haven't for a long time now because of how dramatic it is as a sport. So I just want England to lose. That's the only thing I've been consistent about, is England losing.
Yeah, it was definitely, they needed humbling, because the way they were talking about other countries this entire World Cup, it was very satisfying to watch them lose.
Most definitely. And in the comment section, Rum Tea Tum says, England win all the time. Where do they
do
win?
not win all the time. What are they talking about?
I don't know. Where have they done that? In your dreams? It must be in a dream, because it didn't happen in real life.
Probably
probably trying to manifest. Yes, most definitely.
No, they win at stealing, raping, robbing, unaliving.
The women's team.
RA, all of those things. That's what they do win at.
Yeah, the women's team they mentioned, of course, the women's football is far better and a far better standard. So you're right. Do you know what? I'll be happy for the women's team to win, but not the men's team. No way. They're just too disrespectful towards the women. Okay, we've got Sojourn on the panel now as well. Sojourn, how are you?
Good morning, Foxy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? It's been some time. We've spoken before, haven't we, as well?
I think we have. You've always got some interesting discussions going on your channel. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So what would you like to add today? This is
wanted to just say good morning to everybody, and I'm overjoyed that England lost yesterday. It just brings me immense joy. You understand? I'm sorry, listen, when England was doing okay in the quarterfinals and everything, and there was like debates going on with BLK people about, oh, you know, if you say that you don't support England, you're just being ridiculous and whatever. I don't have collective amnesia like you lot, Like, I'm in my late 20s. Even back in the day, it would be people wearing England shirts that were going around with NF and BMP and doing... So what kind of clown would I be to pretend that I can put on that shirt and call myself... Are you dumb? I've never worn an English shirt in my life. Never. I'm not a fool. Like, why would I support the team of the ops, bro? Sorry, England don't deserve to win, and I'm overjoyed. It brings me immense joy to see you lot miserable. Immense. And you will never win. You will never win, because you are caste people. Do you understand? Listen, I'm Jamaican. Real Jamaicans know that we always support Brazil anyway. So I was rooting for Brazil, real talk. But unfortunately, Brazil didn't win. But the only thing that I needed was for England not to win. And they haven't won. So I'm really happy now, really and truly. But this year, I was rooting for Bellingham. I was rooting for, listen, our team, our young black boys doing their bit as always, carrying the team as always. These young, upstanding, talented black men. I love to see it. But England don't deserve them. And England treats them like crap. Do you understand? All of the abuse that they face, all of the press always writing negative stories about these young, upstanding black boys that are doing their thing. And this is why your country will never succeed. Because no matter what good things happen to you, you don't know how to treat these players well. They don't get the respect they deserve. Listen, yeah, they should be... You really don't know when good things happen to you. But anyway, listen, I just came up to say I'm so happy England didn't win, man. You don't deserve anything good to happen to your country. Until you get on your knees and apologize to us. Do you understand? Anyway, big up the thing. Big up Miss Fox. Big up everybody. Big up Jude.
Thank you so much. Exactly. Well said. And I'm so glad that unanimously, it seems to be this morning, that the black brothers and sisters were all on the same side. We were glad that they didn't win. We're sad for the black players in the team, but we're very happy to understand that, yes, this is karma. They don't deserve to win, and they will not win until they atone for their sins. It is mandatory. Mandatory. And I am reveling in the misery that I'm seeing in the people's faces this morning. I said this on a live earlier that I just did before this one, that I've been specifically going to Englishmen and saying, oh, are you sad? Like, I see them wearing the England shirts, and I've said, oh, are you sad that you lost? They'll be like, yeah. I said, did you cry? And they said, yeah, almost. And I went, oh, just have a burger and feel better. That's what I said last night when I was in Five Guys. I said it to someone in Five Guys last night.
Oh my God.
So you know, it's really important that we actually see and understand, and they see and understand that they are never going to win again. It's never coming home. But you know, we have to be very aware of the consequences of that and what it actually means. I really do hope that there is more conversation about the black players not playing for colonizer teams anymore. I even saw an interview with a player for the US, a black player. I can't remember who his home nation was, but he was African descent, obviously. And it was I just saw it very briefly, an interview saying, well, why are you playing for the US and you're not playing for your home country? And I think it is just a generally interesting conversation that the world seems to be having right now, right? It's about why you're not representing your home country. And I think I would like to see more players representing their home country. I would really like to see it. I think it would shake up the game specifically.
I feel like that won't happen though, because they know they can't win without black players.
Yeah, it won't happen. I would like to see it, but it won't happen. Yeah, because they're heavily reliant on them. You know, and we talked about this earlier. Actually, it was myself, and I can't remember who I was saying this to. Oh, Fanatics, I think it was. I was making a joke about how English people or white Western Europeans keep talking about DEI, right? They keep saying, "Oh, it's DEI." You think that football now is DEI too? You know, it can't be. They would never employ unskilled black football players to just fill some quota numbers. It's because they're better than you. If England team was meant to be all white, it would be, because the players would be better, but they're not good enough. And I said about how I was in talent development myself, so I was semi-professional, and then my next levels up would have been international, would have been playing for England, but I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like competitive sport. It takes the fun out of it. But just to see it and understand it and hear it, it's just funny to me. Like, it's just so funny to me, really funny to me. So I really hope that all the English people sink into a deep depression over the next few days over this competition and the fact that they've lost so badly. And I want to thank Leanne for holding the fort while I was going. I was, you know, in the shuttle in Stansted when you go underneath.
I knew you was in the shuttle because those two airports are not far from my house, and I was like, yeah, she's in the shuttle.
I did the shuttle. Yeah, I was in the shuttle, so I'm like trying to connect to my 5G again and take off the Stansted Wi-Fi. Like,
Yeah, I even saw you came in on your other account. I said, this girl's really trying.
I was trying. So thank you so much for holding that down. And I'm going to listen.
cool.
I'm going to listen back after to what you guys were talking about, because it was really amazing what you and King Kane were talking about. But I am going to log off now and take my flight very shortly. But thank you to everybody who's come by. Thank you everybody for the conversation. Yeah, enjoy the final if you're going to watch. So who's the final? So it's Spain versus Argentina. Is that the final? Okay, interesting.
I don't know, but I'm just supporting the black people in France.
Yeah.
Oh no, France are out. Wait.
No, yeah. So it's
No,
the
France are
only
out.
team that's still got black players now is the Spanish team, really.
Oh, okay.
But again,
So
it's what it is.
yeah, it's the colonizer versus the colonized. Okay, we see.
Yes.
We see. And we're rooting again for the black players only. Right, everybody have a lovely day, and I hope everybody stays safe. Like I said, even though we're laughing at England losing, please be serious. Like when you're going around TikTok today, please do, try and protect as many women and children as you can today. Mostly the children, because they're the most vulnerable, mostly the children. So if you're seeing men on these apps, as we do see, I don't know if you guys saw that stupid interview where a guy was saying that England losing yesterday was harder than when his children were born or something like that. Have you seen that interview?
No, but don't send it. Don't send it to me.
Yeah, that's just a headache right now.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
What an idiot. But
yeah, right. Thank you so much, everybody, and everybody have a wonderful day.
Have a safe flight.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Liam. Thank you. See you later, guys. Bye. Bye. Bye.